guys, it's Thadya and this is my Integra, the crosser. So I just finished the track day this past weekend at Bunwillow, and I still have my track pads and rotors on the car. So I thought that it would be interesting for me to make a video to show you guys how to actually swap out the brake pads and rotors. Alrighty, so for tools you will need a floor jack, jack stands, torque wrench. If you have a powerful tool, that would actually really help, especially getting the lug nuts out. Wrenches, and if you have like a socket and ratchet set, that would be awesome. And for those people who know how difficult it is to push in the piston in the caliper, this would be the tool that you need. So these are my old daily rotors. I noticed that they had micro cracks all around the rotor. I also noticed that while I was driving or dailying the car, every time I brake, the car would actually shake. So I thought that it's about time for me to actually replace them. Same thing on the other side as well. Not sure if you guys can see, but yeah, there's a little bit of micro cracks all over the rotors. So first thing is to jack up the car. Alrighty, so after raising up the car, it's time to put the jack stands underneath the car. So it's great to actually have jack stands as, you know, for safety, because you never know if the floor jack is gonna fail on you and you're gonna have a car on top of you, which is something that you don't want. So anytime you're working on the car and you know you have to jack up the car, I recommend using jack stands. Now to bring in some power tools. And don't forget your gloves as well. I know that sometimes it actually feels better to work on your car without the gloves because you won't be able to feel the grease and lube and everything, but you don't actually want those chemicals to be absorbed in your body. So yeah, use gloves. Alrighty, so now we need the 14mm wrench. Because I have the Type R 5-lug conversion, the 14mm is what I need. But for those who are still on OEM 4x100, I think you would need a 12mm wrench. So all you need to do is loosen this bolt right here and the one in the bottom, and you'll be able to get the brake pads out. Right, so I'm going to get rid of the pads, or put them aside for now while I get the rotor out. So this is the 17mm bolt right here that you need to loosen up to get the caliper bracket out. And there's another one underneath right here. So you need to take those two bolts out to get the bracket out so that you can access the rotor. Okay. And it might not be as easy because they're actually torqued down to 80 foot-pounds. So yeah, hopefully I can get them out. So this is the 17mm with an extension, and I'm using a different ratchet so that I can actually use a pipe as an extension so that I can have some leverage to loosen this. I actually had to use my feet to push the pipe because it was that difficult to break. and the whole thing should come off like that. These are the rotors that I got from AutoZone. I don't usually use branded rotors because I used to have Brembo blank rotors, and they cracked on my first track day. So from now on, I'm using just disposable rotors. Okay, so before putting on the new rotors, you would want to get some brake cleaner or parts wash, because you would want to actually clean the surface of the rotors to make sure that it's clean and it'll be able to bed with the brake pads without any issues. Also, you want to make sure that you don't actually touch the rotors with your fingers, because you don't want to leave any finger oil on the rotors itself. So yeah, even though it's brand new, you can see that it's actually not as clean as it looks. So that's one of the reasons why I suggest actually cleaning the rotors before you install this. Okay, so I'm gonna continue doing this for a while, so I know that you guys won't have any issues in cleaning the rotors, so I'll let you guys do it yourself. Bye. Now the rotors are clean. Don't forget to also clean the back side of the rotors. I also got a new set of gloves just to make sure that there's no grease that can be transferred over to the rotor. Also, I forgot to mention, if you have a bungee cord to actually hold up the caliper and bracket, that would be awesome, because leaving this hanging will actually put a lot of pressure on your brake lines. I actually fortunately have the stainless steel one, so it's not as bad. Now to put the brackets back on with the 17mm bolts. Might be a little tricky to align the holes on the brackets. I usually like to hand tighten it first, because it's a lot easier to use your fingers to put the bolts in compared to using a tool, so I usually just use my fingers in the beginning. You would want to use the ratchet. Alrighty, so now I got the bracket on, and so now I'm going to show you how to actually use the tool to push this piston in. So this is the tool right here. Okay, there you go. It's in. So we press this to release it. And there you go. It's a nice time for brake pads. And no, I am not running Project Mio Club Racers to daily. I am not that baller. I just temporarily have my daily pads in here because it's where I usually keep my track pads in here, so it's just a convenient box to have my brake pads right now. So yeah, this is my daily pads. I like to mark which side the pad came off of. So in this case, it's the right side, so passenger side. Same thing with the other side. I actually have it marked with an L for left side, driver's side. So time to install them. And you're gonna put the caliper back over the pads like so, and the 14mm bolts will go back into the calipers. And again, I like to finger tight the bolts before I actually use a tool, just a habit. So now you just have to replace the wheels and you're done. Well, not really, you gotta do the other side too, but yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. So I want to apologize that it actually got darker a lot quicker than I expected, but I tried to be as thorough as I can before it got a little bit too dark. But if you guys have any questions, please do leave me a comment. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Bye!